Should you buy your next home before selling your current one? Or should you sell first and risk having nowhere to go? Choose the wrong order of these options and you could end up moving twice, where you're rushing into a home that you do not love, or you're carrying two properties longer than what your budget can handle. There is no single answer that is safest for every homeowner. The right order, it depends on four things: how easy your current home should be to sell, how difficult your next home will be to find, what your lender will approve you for, and which type of risk will keep you awake at night. I'm Logan Tomczyk, your real life realtor here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. In this video, I'll show you three main ways to coordinate a sale and purchase in HRM, including one financing detail that homeowners typically misunderstand. Now, when you sell first, you know exactly how much money you have for your next purchase, which is a great tool to have. But what happens if your home sells and nothing suitable is available in the market? Now you're watching the calendar, you're considering temporary housing, putting belongings into storage, and possibly moving your family and pets twice from a home to a rental into a home. Buying first solves that logistical problem, but it replaces it with financial ones. What if you're secure the new home that you're moving into, but your existing property takes 3 months or longer to sell? You may be paying two mortgages, two sets of property taxes, insurances, and utilities. You may also feel pressured to accept a weaker offer just to have this off your plate. That is why this discussion cannot be based on someone having homes in Halifax always sell kind of mentality. Now, what happens if you secure the home that you're looking for and your existing property takes 3 months or longer to sell? You may be paying two mortgages, two sets of property taxes, insurances, and utilities. You may also feel pressured to accept a weaker offer on your current home. That is why this discussion cannot be based on someone having the mentality of homes in Halifax always sell. In June 2026, numbers show why we need to be careful. Across all of Nova Scotia, active listings were just over 10% of the previous years for June, and sales went down and average sale price went down year over year across all of Nova Scotia. Homes are still selling, but you should not assume every property will sell immediately for your ideal price. Let me give you an example. Let's cut to my clients. We'll call them Dave and Sharon. And Dave and Sharon, they'd owned an older home in Halifax's North End for about 15 years. He loved the neighborhood, but the maintenance and unused space were becoming more work than what they wanted to take on. Dave's goal was to move into a condo closer to downtown where him and Sharon could walk to work and be closer to more amenities and less worrying about regular home maintenance. They had found a condo that they loved, but before their home was ready to list. So the first reaction was understandable. I should buy this home before somebody else does. On paper, they might have carried both properties briefly, but after adding condo fees, taxes, insurance, utilities, and the risk of a slower sale, the plan stopped feeling as comfortable as what it originally did. The issue was whether they could handle a slower market scenario without panicking. So instead of making an emotional offer, hoping everything would work out, we created a sequence. We established a realistic value range for their current home. We spoke with mortgage professionals about what they could qualify for before and after selling their property. We prepared their home for the market and identified the condo buildings that they preferred most. Then, when we were ready for market, we ended up selling their home first, but we had a condition for a longer closing period. Once the sale was firm, we knew that his actual funds would become stronger as a buyer because he didn't need to have a sale of buyer's property. And we had longer closing dates to be able to accommodate us taking a little bit more time to find the right home. And here's the last point, the most important. A bridge loan with a mortgage is often described as a way to buy before you can sell, but that can be misleading. Many lenders require a firm sale agreement on your current property before approving bridge financing. It is generally designed to cover a time gap between two firm transactions, not to remove the risk of owning an unsold home indefinitely. Their plan worked because we did not rely on a perfect outcome. We knew our numbers, we prepared early, and we created time to react to the market. Now, let's break down your three main options. Option 1 is to sell first and then buy your next home. This is usually the more financially predictable route. You know what your net proceeds are going to be, you avoid an open-ended period of carrying two mortgages, and your next offer does not need to depend on selling on your current property. The trade-off is your flexibility here. You may need a longer closing date. You may need temporary accommodations, storage facilities for your belongings, and a backup place to stay. A longer closing can help, but it does not guarantee that the right home will appear before you need to leave your home. Option 2 is to buy first and then sell your current home. This can make sense when the property you need is difficult to find. Your current home should attract solid demand, and your lender has confirmed that you can complete the purchase without relying on an immediate sale. The key word here is confirmed. Before making the offer, you need to know how the down payment will be funded, whether you qualify while carrying an existing mortgage, and how long could you comfortably manage both homes and both expenses. Option 3 is to make your purchase conditional on selling your current home. Nova Scotia has a specific sale of buyer's property process for these moments exactly. It can protect you from buying before your existing home sells firm. However, it does create uncertainty for the seller, so your offer may be less attractive. The seller may also continue to market their property, and if they accept a suitable backup offer, they can give you notice and you may have to remove your sale of condition within the agreed time frame or just terminate the purchase altogether. That does not make the condition bad. It means that you need to understand both the protection it gives you and the limitations that it creates. So which option should you choose? You need to ask yourself 4 simple questions. First, how replaceable is your home that you want to buy? If you need a specific school area, accessibility, certain layouts, condo buildings, or property type, selling first could create more pressure because the next suitable option may take time to come onto the market. Second, how saleable is your current home at today's prices? Not at the price that you hope to get, at the price supported by recent sales, competing listings, conditions, and demand in your specific part of HRM. Third, what happens if your current home takes 90 days to sell? If that possibility would create a serious financial problem, then buying first may expose you to more risks than what you should comfortably accept. Fourth question, which inconvenience can you handle better? Some people would rather move twice than carry 2 mortgages. Others can afford an overlap but can't manage temporary housing with children, pets, or they might have accessibility needs. The strategy has to work with your real life. My job is not to tell every homeowner to buy first or every homeowner to sell first. It's to help you price the risks before you're standing in a home that you love but you're feeling pressured to make an immediate decision on. If you are considering upsizing, downsizing, or moving within HRM, download my free home buyer or home seller guides. The links for both of these guides are in the description below of this very video. They're totally free and there's zero obligations at all with them. And if you had any questions about the market, you can always leave a comment or reach out to me. My information is in the description below, and I will help you identify the safest order of operations for your specific situation when it comes to making your next move. I'm Logan Tomchuk, your real life realtor, and I want to help you move with confidence.